Now let's look at Frost's poem Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. Stopping by woods on a snowy evening. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods filled up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wing and only flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep. A miles to go before I sleep. A miles to go before I sleep. This poem describes how a man pauses one evening along a country road to watch a snowfall in the woods, which are lovely, dark, and deep. As he gazes into the soft, silent whiteness of the snowy evening, he is charmed to stay on, losing his track of thought in these enchanted woods. His consciousness seems to be freeing itself from reality, as if it were about to dissolve in the shadowy emptiness of this rural scene. This is perhaps what Frost called a momentary state against confusion. Sometimes we do feel sad and frustrated in our life, and want very much to escape from reality for a short period of time. But at last, his mind holds back from this escape. He remembers that he has promises to keep, and miles to go before he can yield to this dreamlike release extended to him by the woods. This is a moving personal experience beautifully depicted. Okay, now please look at line 8, the darkest evening of the year. And the question here is, why does the man pause and ponder over the woods that are lovely, dark, and deep? Why does the man pause and ponder over the woods that are lovely, dark, and deep? Literally speaking, the woods are deep because they are thickly forested New England woods, even impenetrable. You cannot walk through the woods. The woods are dark, for this is the darkest evening of the year, December the 22nd, the shortest day of the year, just before Christmas. But figuratively speaking, this darkness, according to Frost's recollection in 1947, also means to the poet a darkness both in time and economy. Frost recalled that times were hard for him when his family was living on a farm. Once, when Christmas was drawing near, he packed his wagon with some farm produce and made a long trip into the town, hoping that he could exchange his farm things for a few small Christmas gifts for his children. But as times were hard for everybody, and there proved to be no sale in the town, as he headed home disappointedly, evening came, it was snowing, and his heart grew heavier and heavier. Even the horse was sensing his despair and was going more slowly. Just before they came into the view of the house, he realized that his family might be expecting him anxiously. How could he face them? He saw no way to spare the family the despair he felt. The horse slowed down and then stopped at the sweep of a bend. The horse knew what its master had to do. Frost just sat there and cried like a baby. And this is the story behind this line, the darkest evening of the year. Okay, now let's look at Line 13. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep. The woods hold a mystical attraction for the traveler, who finds himself alone between the two opposing worlds of nature and man. Even his little horse knows that one does not usually stop before reaching the village, especially on the darkest evening of the year. Nature in this poem becomes fascinating at first with the help of easy wing and only flake. The woods seem to be a place which offers the speaker a momentary escape from his promises. The man's responsibility to the village is diminished for a moment by the apparently vast domain of the woods. He begins to find solace in nature. However, in this comfort lies danger. Sleep, by its very nature, is a common symbol of death. So is darkness, and snow too, because of its association with the danger of winter coldness. Woods are also a familiar image for danger, and their darkness and depth give a sense of uncertainty. The woods stands as a synecdoche for nature. It seems in this poem that man must learn both to accept and to resist the pull of nature. In the end, the traveler dismisses the mysteries which the woods have to offer in order to keep the unnamed promises awaiting him in the village. In Frost's lyric poems, nature often appears to be indifferent, dangerous, and even hostile to human beings. The man in this poem is presented as an isolated individual. Published in his book of poetry, New Hampshire, in 1923, this poem illustrates many of the qualities most characteristic of Frost's poetry, including the attention to natural details, the relationship between man and nature, and the deceptively simple way of his poetic presentation. Now let's look at questions for discussion. What is the significance of the setting in this poem? How is tone conveyed by the image? What does the speaker find appealing about the woods? What is the purpose of the horse in the poem? What is the rhyme scheme of this poem? What is the effect of the rhyme in the final stanza? How does the poet use synecdoche as a media to view reality in this poem? So much for this poem.